Hey, what's going on, everybody? From Strawbeary Studios, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's a show with hot questions and even hotter wings. Today we're joined by Topanga Gunter. She's a photographer under the name Strawbeary Studios, a former cosplayer, yikes. And she is also associated with Strawberry Nights, a video production group formed by herself and Reggie of Lexus Falter Photos. Topanga, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I am also very excited, even though I've been doing this show forever. Love the enthusiasm and positivity. Now, how do you expect this little wing session to go? Do you think you'll make it? Do you think we'll have fun a little bit? Do you think it'll be fun at all?
I think it'll be a lot of fun. I fully expect to not do so well later. I think after the first 3 I'll be okay, and then after that it's...
See, I'm very skilled at this, so I'm not going to react whatsoever. That is great. Let's keep our spirits up this time. Make sure that we don't, suffer too much, because I know we'll all die at the end of this. I'm sure our audience will notice this change of scenery and lighting, but I assure you, I am the real Sean Evans. So let's get into it. First wing, let's go. All right, number 1, the classic Garlic Fresno edition. First, let's talk about stuff from the very beginning. Way back in the day when you were mainly a cosplayer and you were just starting to find your footing in photography, what was the first thing that you noticed about photography that sparked your interest further? Or can you recall a specific instance where you started to feel like this was something that you wanted to do for a living?
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I've been interested in photography since I was like a little kid, but it wasn't until I was doing a photo session at North Texas... Anime North Texas, that's what it's called. It was for a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy photo shoot. And I was like, oh, this is like a lot of fun. I think this is what I want to do. And it was also during that time that I reached out to Reggie. And we weren't really close friends at this point. We were just acquaintances. And I asked him, I was like, would you mind like showing me how to do this? It went from there.
Sort of took off from there, huh?
Yeah.
And I know you said before that you enjoy being in front of the camera more now, or being behind the camera more now than in front of it. Tell me about that. Is there a specific instance that you remember during a shoot where you were just like, oh, I don't dig this anymore?
I don't think there was a moment. I think it was a buildup of just all the stress that came from being on both sides. I think I was realizing that I was being more fulfilled with behind the camera and the pre-production, that I just wanted to focus on that side more. It's also nice that I can just roll up with no makeup.
That's true.
And my hair sloppy, and I can just...
So I do that every day. Whenever you're ready, we'll do the second wing.
Sorry. I'm going into vulture mode and picking off all the meat.
Just picking off all the meat. All right, second wing, the Yellowbird, Bliss and Vinegar.
Ooh, I like this one a lot.
You've tried this one before?
Yes.
You've been on the show before? So I've noticed in the past that you've made videos, posts, etc. about the influence of K-pop on your art. Can you elaborate on the role of this that this influence has played on you in your time as a photographer so far?
So a lot of my composition, I take influence from K-pop music videos and also the photo shoots and photo books.
This is really good.
And also, colors are a really big key to my work, and a lot of that comes from color grading from K-pop. And then also just like the storytelling aspects. That's what like really got me interested in K-pop in the beginning. The storytelling aspect is what really got me interested, and I don't think I always apply it to my work, but where I can, I try.
Yeah. Do you have any specific photographers or photo books that you always go back to, and which influences would you like to learn more from outside of K-pop?
I don't want to butcher her name, but the photographer who does a lot of work for Luna, I follow her stuff, and she has this very unique kind of like film influenced, but also she like plays a lot with her colors, which is right up my alley. So I take a lot of inspiration from her, and the photo books that she's done with Luna are ones that I love to flip through. In K-pop, but not photo books, Digi Petty is my favorite, just in general music video director. And I follow him, and I really like when he posts his like storyboard versus the final shot.
Yeah,
I think those
definitely.
are really cool. And then outside of K-pop, lately I've been getting more into film, but older films from like French New Wave era.
Very cool.
And paying attention more to like I'm still learning directors and like watching the films, but watching their setups and like learning about the production side of that is very inspiring. And then also just paying attention to lately I've been breaking down like Alfred Hitchcock shots, like
very
his
cool.
composition.
Classic.
I've seen multiple of his films, but never really paid attention, so it's nice to like revisit them with a different perspective.
And one finishing note for this question, is there any distinct like reference that you've made to any one of these influences where it is like either like one for one or just like a very clear reference to said image or photographer?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know if I've made it yet. There's something in the works.
Ooh,
I eventually would like to make
keep an eye out.
a short film that's
Ooh.
very... Right now in my head, it's like a one for one from a Digipedi thing that he did with Luna. But I don't want it to be a one for one, so I've been trying to like dissect it and put my own twist to it.
Now we are on the Hoff and Pepper Hoff's House Sauce. You have mentioned before in past videos that there are some real photography horror stories that you've run into before.
Yes.
Now, this doesn't have to get messy. Obviously, you don't have to mention names. We know who you are. But share one of your more egregious ones with us and maybe talk about like what you might have learned from that experience. That's good.
I never like it when people like come up and watch for very long.
When they're not involved in the shoot.
Yeah, it kind of gives me performance anxiety. I've also had, this was me in front of the camera. A lady came and was watching, and it was a night scene, and you couldn't see where the camera was, and it almost got knocked into a pond that it was in front of. So that was kind of scary.
Yeah.
It wasn't my camera, so I was like, oh my god, please.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you were there. We've had some weirdos
We've
kind of
some
camp
weirdos.
and watch and take photos of us, which is kind of weird. But I think those are always like the most annoying. Security guards coming up and like asking what we're doing is like,
Well,
once that happens a few times, you get a little more comfortable.
You do get used to it,
with
yeah.
communicating with them, but with I don't know, strangers who are kind of teetering on being weirdos, like I don't know how they're gonna react.
We've definitely been around the block there before. Are there any like disaster experience photography stories that you might have where just everything was going wrong during one particular shoot and it just left you feeling really frustrated?
I don't think I've had like a session that actually happened where that went.
That's good news.
But there was an instance, I don't know if you remember, but like everything went wrong and like we couldn't do the photo shoot. And it was
Shoot, was that?
it was gonna be a Halloween one. And I completely left my camera.
Oh, was that the Oogie Boogie one?
No, you were a demon.
That one.
Yeah, so
I do remember
left
that.
my camera at my grandparents' house, which was over an hour from where we were. And I
You
thought
left it at the church.
I thought that it was in my mom's car when she was volunteering at the
Okay.
church, and you asked, "You want me to go with you as you're dressed as this bright red demon?" And I was like, "No, you can't come with me."
And I fully looked you in the face and said, why not? Why can't I go? And you were like, looking at me like, are you that stupid? And I had to really think about it. I was like, oh.
And I was really frustrated because you looked so cool.
Aw,
and I
thank
really
you.
wanted to take those photos, and we never did.
Yeah, I remember that. I should do it again.
You should.
We'll give it a fair shake this time.
Yeah.
I have plenty of red body
and
paint.
do a proper like setup.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Now we're at number 4, Los Calientes Verde. All right, you've taken quite an interest in fashion lately. Do you see yourself involving that aspect into your photos? I know I've asked before if you foresee like editorial style editing in your future, but what genres of photography do you see on the horizon for yourself? I love myself a green sauce.
That one's really good. I really like that one. I don't know if I'll ever end up doing anything like commercial or even like official editorial work. But I do want to get into my, like, editorial for myself. I feel like there's a lot that you can do with it in telling a story. And fashion photography is a really interesting genre because you don't always get to play with the story side of things because you're trying to take photos of the garments to sell them. But editorial is kind of like that one place where you can. And I love clothes, and the more that I like dive into fashion and find these pieces that are conventional and like have really cool drapery aspects to them, like I want to be able to play with that in my work.
I've seen a few of your pieces before where you kind of incorporate that style into it already. Namely, the first one that comes to mind is the initial Maho Monster like announcement photos that you did. Those are very like editorial style. Are there any other kinds of like styles of photography that you've peppered into certain shoots?
I'm trying to think of like what you would call because I call them just fashion photo shoots. But it's like, it's portrait work, but with an emphasis on you put on a really cool outfit. But it's not intended for a magazine.
That's its purpose.
I don't know what to call it. I just call it fashion photography. But I love doing that. I did one with you last summer.
That was very fun.
And then
do another one soon.
I did one recently. It was like a visual K look.
Ooh,
Very
cool.
Really cool. So I want to be able to do more of that, especially with like the rise of aesthetics. I've really been interested in like the hyper feminine stuff because that's not something that I always like to wear, but it's something that I love to see. And so like I'm trying to find someone who has like a silky dress, and like I've lately been focusing a lot on posing and interacting with like the clothes that the model's wearing. And like just big poofy dresses or anything with like lace or chiffon is just very flowy and beautiful and creates like a movement in the photo that I really like, and I want to be able to play with that more.
All right. The fifth wing, the Hotheads Official Revolutionary. We're up to 57,000 Scoville now.
I'm getting a little sweaty.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Not necessarily sweaty. I was sweaty before I got here because I was trying to get out of the car and not have people see me. But there was like 5 people out there. I think that somebody's moving in. Anyways, are there any unforeseen obstacles that you've encountered on this journey? Like things you didn't know were an issue for photographers, things that are like way more expensive than you thought that they would be. What is the most surprising obstacle that you've encountered? Ooh, this one's got a tang to it.
It does. It's also really spicy.
I think it's hitting in the nose, but maybe I'm just numb.
It's getting in the back of my throat.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, I feel it in the nose. Ooh, I can breathe. This might be a 1 or 2 bite situation.
Okay.
Well, don't do that to yourself.
Okay, so... it's getting you too.
It's starting to, yeah.
Okay, so obstacles.
Yes, I'm gonna put this down.
Yeah, that one, man. Okay.
It hits you after a little bit too.
I think gear, just in general.
Yeah.
Like there are people who have multiple camera bodies, and I'm like,
Got some taters.
yeah. Oh my gosh, please.
I can feel it. Yeah.
Okay. People who have multiple camera bodies. Why?
Multiple what?
Camera bodies. I understand if you have like a DSLR and then you have a mirrorless and then you have like one for film. I get that. But there are some people who have like multiple DSLRs and I don't quite understand why. And sometimes it gives me imposter syndrome because I only have one.
Before you rush to the comments, why?
And also lenses. Like I use a kit lens for a lot of my stuff because they're so expensive. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, you should get this like 80 millimeter. And I'm like, why do I need an 80 millimeter?
Are you doing okay? You're doing great.
Thanks. That's really spicy.
It's only gonna get worse.
I know, and I'm already crying. I feel like such a wimp.
Don't. DJ Khaled did not even get this far. Is
For
that how you say
real?
his name? Yeah, he got to the third wing.
And that's it?
Yeah.
He stopped?
He stopped. We are now on Senor Lechuga. It's like 10,000 more Scoville units. All right, let's switch up with a more pleasant question. Which shoots have been your most successful? Like ones that you've come out of it proud of your work and the session itself. So sessions that you've been the most proud of, you come out of the session and you're like, wow, that was awesome. Oh, you're going right back in. That's some bravery.
That one wasn't so bad.
Well, it could creep up on us.
That's true. I really like the one, I talk about it all the time, but the one that we did last summer, your alarm look, that one was really pretty. And anytime that I do natural light, it's always great practice because for a good while I was just using speed lights.
So you were just using... So you're used to using speed lights mostly. Do you get more satisfaction out of natural light shoots?
Right now I do. I have this problem where like I get really invested in something and then I do it for a long time and then I'm like, oh, I'm bored. And then I do something else and then I end up getting really good at that but then rusty at the other ones. I have to try to find a balance.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I noticed that you really liked flash photography, like harsh flash for a good while.
Lately I like that too. It's either like I either want natural light or I want really harsh white flash.
Two extremes.
I just really like the look. And it's very like 90s and I'm super into that right now. Yeah, I can't. Oh, the Getcha photos, they had that look to them.
They were very cool.
I really liked those.
Those very much so reminded me of that sort of K-pop look where you'd see like in photo cards or something like that. It looked really cool.
Well, and that's the approach that I have for cosplay photography. And I think it's like helped elevate those photos because before when I was doing cosplay photography, I remember going on Pinterest and looking at what other photographers did for that character and then trying to emulate it, which was helpful if I didn't know the character, but then also like I'm kind of ripping off someone else's work and I would still try and like change it up because, you know, my photo didn't look like theirs. It's very like overexposed and very colorful and they end up kind of just looking the same. But thinking of it as just like a normal photo, I think, and removing the fact that it's a cosplay photo helps it.
Starting to get up there in heat now. How you doing? Do you find that there's... Oh, go ahead.
I said I'm gonna look like Helga's sister from Hey Arnold when she cries.
That's a pretty good comparison. Do you find that there's any like deciding factor or a specific tell for a shoot that you know is going to be a satisfying one? Like mid-shoot, you're like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing.
Oh, when you get the photo, and that usually, for me... Oh, yeah. Like, it happened recently with a photo shoot that I did. It was the middle of the session, and we found this really cool, like, graffiti door with vines going up this, like, brick wall. It was really cool, and I got a wider shot. And as soon as I took it, I was like, that's the one. Like, we could pack up and go home and, like, be completely happy. And I think once that happens, like, everything else is just bonus.
All right, so now we are number 7, the Chile Lengua de Fuego. We're at 118,000 Scoville. And as you know, on this show, we do this thing where we go through your Instagram and ask for a little bit more context. So right now, I am on the Strawbeary Studios Instagram. Can you provide some more context for this photo?
I love that one of Jackie. So Jackie is my boyfriend's dog, but she doesn't live with us. Pet rent is expensive. But she's so cute, and I wanted to take photos of her.
Ooh, this one bites. I have to be honest. Are you okay?
I wanted to take photos of her. Oh, God.
I see that Sam is in these photos, too.
Yeah, so we took, like, little family Christmas photos. And he got a Zoolander face, and that one was so good. Because she's just such a cute dog. And it was also, like... So that way I can... You good?
Yeah. I'm good.
It was also so that way I could have marketing material for next year. Because puppy portraits are something that, like, I want to offer.
Very good angle. I didn't even think of that.
So that's why those exist.
I'm going in for another one. This is pretty good, actually. I kind of dig this one. All right, let's look at another photo real quick. Okay. Oh, dear. Wrong one. All right, tell me about this one. I really like these. These
So
we talked earlier about your influence of K-pop, but I believe this is one of those.
yes. So I'm a big Orbit, and I wanted to have a... Oh my god, that's so spicy.
It's hitting.
I'm not eating anymore.
Put that one back. Have some milk if you need. Have some taters.
And I wanted to have just like a portrait session for myself to kind of express my love for what was pretty much like an artistic awakening for me.
Ooh. So this was a very, like, important shoot for you?
Yeah, because Luna kind of opened my eyes and helped me analyze, like, imagery in visual media. Because that was something that I always struggled with in high school. Oh my god.
Sometimes I forget that your photography journey goes back to high school. Were there any shoots that you did then that stand out to you?
They're all bad. I didn't really edit because freshman year photojournalism was like the first, well, no, not really. I took video production in middle school, and we played with Photoshop then, but in a completely different way. And in photojournalism in high school, we were only allowed to play with the RGB sliders.
You doing okay?
Uh-huh.
Work through it.
I need to relax. I was getting a little tense.
I'm doing better than I thought I would.
So-
But, you know, I am Sean Evans.
We could only move the RGB sliders to edit our photos. And that was it. We couldn't.
Was that a rule?
Yeah, we couldn't do camera raw. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't play with
That
curves, select a color.
That seems
nothing.
so stifling.
It was awful. I hated it. And so I didn't know how to edit photos like artistically for a long time. And then I took a dim class, and that kind of helped. But we didn't play with we didn't play with curves or selective color, which is like what I use now. Oh my god, my lips are on fire. What was the question?
This shoot specifically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry.
But you were asking about like if high school photos stood out to me. So I went ham whenever I discovered Lightroom, and I would slap the darkest vignettes on everything. It was
Fair enough.
It was bad.
When
But
in doubt, put a vignette on it.
I don't like my high school stuff. But that photo, that was when I started playing with curves, I think, and like gradient overlays and stuff. So it was kind of like a session that I did for myself for enjoyment. Like I didn't care if people saw it as like cringe or anything. But it also kind of like was like a starting point for my workflow changing from just like doing everything in camera raw, playing with my colors more.
Yeah.
And getting to a spot where I really like it. Oh my god. My lips, they burn.
All right, and your mom also sent me a few pictures for us to discuss. Namely, let's talk about this one.
Oh god.
What thoughts do you have about this picture?
I hate that picture.
It's going in.
I know.
We're already here.
I know. When was that?
Eighth
grade,
This
I think?
is probably about 8th grade.
I remember 8th grade because that was my first time wearing a wig. And the next day I went to school and I had wig hair because I didn't wash my hair that night. So I went to school. It was bad. It was awful.
She also sent me this one
Aww.
and that one.
Aww.
Little bear.
Yeah. Those are so
can
sweet.
put
And
these
also,
in too.
wait, go back. Oh man, okay. Oh no, I thought that was my polyphonics bracer. That's my marquee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marquis. She also sent me this one.
Oh yeah.
Was this part of a shoot that you had done? I
I-
remember seeing photos of this, but I don't remember
I
exactly what
was okay, so before I started this channel, I made another channel where I was getting into like J fashion stuff, and I bought some Lolita pieces from Devil Inspired and like made a video about it, and then never wore Lolita again, pretty much.
Do you think that Lolita has had any contribution on your photography journey?
Not specifically, I think J fashion has, because for a little bit, a lot of my style was kind of influenced from like Fruits magazine, which I still use for like posing people. Like if people I'm working with know what Fruits magazine is, then I'll tell them like stand like a Fruits magazine photo because I like the look of that. And then also like magazines like Cara and Larm, the way that they have the like model and then they Photoshop like the pieces on it. I really like that look.
Yeah.
I wish our catalogs looked like that.
Yeah,
I think
sort of like Delia's.
Yeah, I like that look.
I also, before we end the like photo segment, I want to talk about some of your non-portrait photography, such as this, or your little like series with that little banana look that you had.
My still lifes that no one else seemed to like, which is fine.
I dug them.
Thank you. It's very interesting that you bring that up because I like wanted to make a whole video kind of talking about this.
Oh.
because they're from, like, I love those photos. I think they're very fun. I don't think they're me. And maybe they were the me then. I don't know. I haven't, like, searched inward to see if that's true or not.
Have there been any key takeaways from your still life photography?
Yeah. Be authentic. Be true to yourself. Don't follow trends if they don't feel like you.
Yeah.
And like you're forcing something. Because some of those feel like I was forcing something.
You don't regret them.
No. I think they were really good practice and really good experimentation. And they helped me figure out, like, oh, this isn't really me.
And then final photo that your mom sent. Now, I really liked the look of this shoot.
Thank you. That, again, was, like, at the beginning of me playing with curves and getting more into, like, emulating film.
Do you think you'll be going in that direction more?
Oh, yeah. And eventually I'll get a film camera so I can stop emulating.
Very cool. All right, let's move on to the next wing. We are now on the 8th wing, which is the bomb.
No!
We are finally here at the bomb.
Oh, no.
All right.
I
Is
don't
that
want
it?
to. Mm-hmm.
You don't want to? You're not tapping out, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But Salma Hayek said it tastes like a bad lover. So.
All right. So with our 8th wing, or 8th question, is there a type of photo shoot that you have sworn off of, be it due to experience or just lack of interest? Oh, I took a big bite. Are you okay? Oh, wow.
Ew! I don't like the flavor of that one.
I don't think I'm here anymore. Oh, Sean Evans has left the building. Sean Evans has left the building.
I don't like that one. It tastes bad.
Ooh.
All of these were really
I think I'm
yummy.
going to be employing the milk finally.
All of these were really yummy until that one.
Uh-huh.
It's a... You bite it and you're like, oh...
That's a jump.
It is.
That's a definite jump.
It builds. And it doesn't taste good.
Do you think swearing would help?
I'll bleep you.
I'm going through the stages of grief right now.
So for a period of time, I actually swore off cosplay photography. Excuse me. Oh, it burned. And like, love life photography, specifically, because we did that for so long.
So long. Oh, this hurts. I'm drooling. Oh my god.
But now I do it sometimes, but I prefer not to. It hurts. It tastes bad.
It tastes really bad. How did it get in my entire mouth? I feel dizzy.
I'm so sweaty. Are you sweaty?
I don't have any hair. I can't be sweaty. You sound like Hannibal Lecter.
I'm gonna turn the fan on. I'm crying.
I think I've made it out. What was the question? Oh, a type of photo shoot that you've sworn off of.
Yeah.
Since the cosplay and since the love life. I know you're not a fan of wedding photography.
No, I haven't done a wedding since, and
Since when?
the first one and the only one that I've done.
And it's gonna get worse.
I know.
We've got 2 more.
Wedding photography. Yeah. Okay. So I did that one, and I didn't really love it. And since I've been going to weddings, I watch the photographers a lot, and I'm like, man, I'm glad that ain't me.
The wedding photographers?
Uh-huh.
Sorry, it's kind of hard to focus.
It just... I'm sure they love it. It's just not fulfilling to me. And the stress.
Well, stress definitely. Have you ever tried any like landscape photography, like product photography? Do you hate those, or are you just kind of like, eh?
I'm eh. Product photography can be really fun. I know a photographer named Nick, and he does a lot of, excuse me, designer product photography. It's gorgeous. I just don't have a natural eye for it. Landscapes. There are people out there who do a better job than I. I don't have an eye for it.
Have you ever been offered any jobs for those kind of things that you just had to turn down? No?
I think people know that, because it's not in my portfolio anywhere. They know, like, it's just not what she does. Which is great, because then they can go find somebody who loves that.
True.
And will meet their needs and all that jazz. I'm surprised I cried.
I'm surprised I've made it this far. I mean, I do this every day, almost, because I'm Sean Evans. But impressive
Yeah.
that you've made it this far, too.
How bad's my makeup?
It's pretty bad.
Thanks.
I'm not going to lie. Now we are on number 9, Hellfire. This is 699,000 Scoville. All right, so with our 9th wing, we are having our 9th question. Now that you're older, wiser, etc., what do you want to focus your energy more on as a creative? I know you've delved into some video endeavors recently, and I want to hear more about what you hope to get out of your creative process in the future. I feel like Squidward eating that Krabby Patty. He didn't want to eat the...
Ow.
I really gotta feel this. Hasn't hit me yet.
It burns my throat.
Should I take another bite?
Do it.
Okay. I only have one wings on here.
Do you feel it, Mr.
Don't look at my
Krabs?
script. I'm feeling it.
Do you like it?
I don't know. It's pretty good.
It doesn't taste bad.
It doesn't taste as bad as the bomb. I'll say that. The more I talk, the more it hurts, I think.
I want to
Sorry.
get more into video and filmmaking. I don't know what else to say about that.
Do you think YouTube has helped
Oh,
with
yeah.
this journey?
Oh, for sure. Like, before, when I used to make fashion videos. You good?
I'm good.
You're crying. I used to hate editing video.
Yeah?
I did.
What didn't you like about that process?
I don't know. I guess I was just working on the wrong sort of projects.
God, it gets worse.
And it took me a little bit to figure that out. But since working on videos for, like, about photography and film and creative stuff, I enjoy it a lot more. And I find myself, like, smiling while I'm editing and, like,
That's good.
watching myself. And I'm like, oh, wow, I must really like this video because I'm smiling at myself. And I used to hate watching myself on camera.
That's good. That's a big jump.
And, like, the practice of, like, editing and figuring out what you like and don't like and finding your voice is always good.
Are there any video techniques that you've been wanting to try since starting your journey into video? Like, I know that there's a lot of video techniques you see in K-pop. We're bringing that up again. Maybe some French film techniques since you were into that too.
I don't know how I want to use it, but so, like, an old technique is using like a wheelchair as a dolly mechanism. I always thought that would be cool to use, and, like, you could use it for a dolly zoom, which would be really cool. I've always wanted to use that. I don't know where.
Is a wheelchair more stable than others? Like, I mean, obviously it'd be more stable than, like, a skateboard or something, but...
I don't know. That's just what they used in, like, French New Wave, and, like, now film schools have, like, a plethora of wheelchairs for students to use.
Huh.
So, it hurts. Woo.
Alright, so we are up to the last dab. Apollo. Just put a little bit on there. It is not required, but I know you're a trooper. Oh, that's quite a bit.
Do you want a little?
Yes.
I'll do, like, a drop.
Final wrap up. How has being a photographer yourself added or detracted from your experience when appreciating art and photography as a whole? Oh my god. I got it all over my lips.
That one tastes good.
It does taste good.
It's hot, though. Ooh. Oh my god.
Oh. Oh my.
Oh no. I think knowing a little bit of, like, what goes into producing a photo or even a film.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. It kind of adds, like, another layer of appreciation. Although, admittedly, sometimes it ruins immersion with, like, watching a movie and being like, oh, I know how they did that. Or, like, sometimes when I'm watching close-up scenes, I look at people's eyes to see how they light a scene. Which, when you're, like, rewatching something is fine, but when you're watching something for the first time, like, you kind of just want to appreciate it. My mouth is on fire right now.
It hurts more now. Oh my god! We didn't have to.
But we did. Oh. It hurts.
I can't put down the milk.
What's sad is this one tastes good.
It tastes good. On the
It's got a good tang.
But, oh my god, it hurts.
But the tip of my tongue is
on the roof of my mouth
fire.
too.
This is the hot sauce from SpongeBob.
It is.
By the powers of naughtiness, I command this particular drop of hot sauce to be really, really hot.
Alright, incredible. Topanga Gunter took on the gauntlet. She made it out alive. We both did. Congratulations. I cannot believe we are alive right now. Feeling victorious. This camera, this camera, this camera, this camera. Let the people know what you got going on right now.
I hit over 100 subs, and that was really neat. Mm-hmm. If you're new here, hi, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Congratulations.
Especially if you stuck around to the end.
Mm-hmm. I want you to promo here a little bit. Tell us about services, products you provide. I know you sell other things on your shop.
Oh, I closed my shop.
Oh.
Talk about that another day.
But anyways, congratulations, Topanga. You made it out alive. Shake my hand if it doesn't got sauce on it. That was intense. Holy crap.
If you stuck around to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see more, subscribe, leave a likey like, all that good YouTube jazz. Special thanks to Sydney at Lunatic Cosplay.
I'm Sean Evans. I don't know what you're talking about.
For being here and doing this with me and enduring the pain.
Always a pleasure.
I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.